What if I told you that a high-profile, flashy mayor, already caught in the crosshairs of public scrutiny, is now entangled in an even stranger controversy? A controversy involving a $100,000 BMW, her mysterious boyfriend, and a plot twist that no one could have predicted. This is the bizarre, headline-grabbing story of Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard, and how her boyfriend allegedly lost a six-figure luxury vehicle under circumstances that are raising eyebrows across the country. Is this just an unfortunate case of a stolen car? Or is there something far more suspicious going on behind the scenes? Let's break it all down. Before we dive into the missing BMW, let's talk about the woman at the center of this storm. Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dolton, Illinois. Now, Dolton isn't a huge city. It's a small village outside Chicago. But Tiffany Henyard has never let that stop her from making headlines. With her designer clothes, entourage of security, a camera-ready personality, she's dubbed herself the Super Mayor. She's active on social media, always at the front of local events and not shy about showing off a little luxury. Some people see her as a bold leader unafraid to be herself. Others say she's more focused on image than action. And let's be clear, her time in office has been far from quiet. From allegations of financial mismanagement, excessive personal spending, and use of public funds for private benefit, Tiffany has been the center of more than one controversy. So when news broke that her boyfriend's 100K BMW had gone missing, people were immediately suspicious. Now, who exactly is her boyfriend? That's where things start to get murky. His identity hasn't been confirmed in official documents, but according to local sources and a few investigative threads online, he's been spotted with Tiffany at events, behind the scenes, and, unsurprisingly, in luxury cars. But a few weeks ago, his BMW vanished, just like that. And this wasn't just any car. We're talking about a top-of-the-line BMW 7 Series or X7, equipped with tracking tech, anti-theft systems, and luxury features that cost more than most people make in a year. So how does a $100,000 car just disappear? Here's what's been reported. The vehicle was reportedly left unattended in a public area. It was either stolen or towed without explanation. No one has seen security footage. And oddly enough, there's no police report that's been made public. Even stranger? Tiffany hasn't said a single word about it. No post, no press conference, nothing. And if your boyfriend's car, a car worth six figures, just disappeared, wouldn't you at least acknowledge it? This silence has only added fuel to the fire. Local residents and internet sleuths are coming up with their own theories, and some of them are wild. Theory 1, the car was stolen. Plain and simple, a random crime of opportunity. But critics say, really? In broad daylight? With no footage? No alarms? Theory 2, the car was never his to begin with. Some speculate it might have been leased or even financed using questionable methods, possibly even using city-connected funds. Theory 3, the whole thing is a cover-up, that the car didn't go missing at all, but it's being reported that way for some other purpose, maybe even to hide financial issues or distract from other ongoing investigations. And that's where things get even deeper. Tiffany Henyard has already been criticized for using city money for personal security, high spending on travel and promotional events, a lack of transparency in local finances, and reports of intimidation. Tactics against whistleblowers. Some Dolton trustees have even spoken out, accusing the mayor of bullying city officials, restricting access to records, and abusing her power. So when news of this BMW incident came out, it wasn't just bad luck. People saw it as a potential symbol of deeper problems. If her boyfriend is riding around in a 100K car while residents complain about potholes, crime, and budget deficits, what kind of message does that send? And now, that car has magically disappeared. It's not just strange, it's suspicious. And you better believe the internet had a field day. Twitter, TikTok, and Reddit lit up with posts about the missing BMW. And the reactions range from sarcastic to outright furious. One user tweeted, "100K BMW goes missing and no one's surprised." That's Dolton politics for you. Another said, "Must be nice to have a mayor whose boyfriend rides in luxury while the rest of us wait for basic services." Even local activists have chimed in, asking if taxpayer money was ever used to acquire, insure, or maintain the vehicle. City officials have remained tight-lipped, And without an official statement from Henyard or the police, speculation continues to grow. Whether or not the missing BMW is ever found, this situation is likely to have serious political consequences. Tiffany Henyard is already facing scrutiny. This just adds another layer. Critics say it points to a larger pattern of excess and secrecy, and her supporters are finding it harder and harder to defend the silence. She may not have stolen the car, but she's losing trust fast. And in politics, trust is everything. Even if this was just a fluke, an unfortunate random theft, the lack of transparency and accountability makes it look far worse than it might actually be. And that's the problem. In the end, this story is about more than a car. It's about leadership, perception, and responsibility. When you're in power, especially as a public servant, your life is on full display. Every decision, every relationship, and every missing BMW becomes part of the narrative. And right now, the Tiffany Henyard story is raising more questions than answers. So, what do you think? Was this a simple case of Grand Theft Auto or something much deeper? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more deep dives into political scandals, local controversies, and the stories the mainstream media skips, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Because trust me, we're just getting started. Now, as the story of the missing BMW continues to unfold, some people are asking a more alarming question. Could this be part of a larger cover-up? Could the car's disappearance be a distraction from something even more serious happening behind the scenes? Think about it. Henyard is no stranger to controversy. Her rise to power was marked by bold promises and aggressive stances on community issues. But as time went on, cracks began to show in her public image. Critics have long raised concerns over her lavish lifestyle, public spending, and even her handling of taxpayer money. A $100,000 car isn't something you just forget about, especially when the eyes of the entire community are on you. Now, the disappearance of this luxury vehicle, it just adds fuel to the fire. How could it vanish without a trace? What happened? To the police investigation? And why has there been complete silence from both Henyard and law enforcement? One of the most chilling theories to emerge is that this isn't just a case of theft. It's a calculated move designed to shift public attention. If you think about it, the timing couldn't be more perfect. As the mayor faces increasing pressure over a variety of scandals, this strange and mysterious disappearance could serve as the perfect distraction. It's not just the car that's gone, it's the public's focus. But here's where the plot thickens. If you take a step back and look at this from a broader perspective, we can't ignore the political ramifications this could have for Henyard's future. The pressure is already mounting, and with every unanswered question, her opponents are licking their lips, ready to exploit her every mistake. At the local level, political insiders are quietly asking themselves, is this the final straw for Henyard's career? Many are wondering whether this could ultimately lead to a recall. After all, the public is becoming more and more skeptical. What kind of leader remains silent during a crisis like this? Her critics have seized on this moment, calling for transparency and accountability. They're demanding answers, not only about the BMW, but about her other questionable activities, like how much taxpayers are actually footing the bill for her luxury lifestyle. And when you add the mysterious disappearance of such a high-value asset into the equation, the plot lines really start to blend together. Could the BMW be a metaphor for something larger, something systemic? With a lack of response from Henyard and the absence of hard evidence coming from authorities, people have begun to dig into the details of her personal finances, her connections, and even her past dealings in the community. In the court of public opinion, the silence is being seen as an admission of guilt, at least by some of the residents of Dolton. But let's take a step back. Is it fair to jump to conclusions about Henyard's involvement in all of this? Or is she merely a victim of an unfortunate situation, trying to navigate the pressures of being in the public eye? Now, for all the speculation, there's one thing we can say for certain. The situation has become a PR nightmare. The longer this drags on without a clear explanation, the more it threatens to overshadow any of the positive work Henyard has done. And during her time as mayor, it's not just the car that's causing all the stir, it's the way the whole thing has been handled. Politicians, especially ones in high office, can often survive scandals if they come clean, own up to their mistakes, and work on making things right. But Henyard's radio silence isn't helping matters. As it stands now, the mystery of the missing BMW has turned into something much bigger than a car. It's a symbol of uncertainty, a growing sense that the leadership in Dolton may be teetering on the edge. And the longer the mystery goes unresolved, the harder it will be for Tiffany Henyard to maintain any semblance of control over the narrative. In fact, this could be the beginning of the end of her political career. Whether or not the BMW ever turns up, one thing is clear: Henyard's brand is now forever linked to controversy. And as much as some may rally behind her, others are starting to question whether she's the right person to lead. So, what happens next? Will the truth about the missing BMW ever come out? Will Tiffany Henyard be forced to answer tough questions in front of a growing sea of doubters? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, this isn't the last we'll hear about this bizarre high-stakes mystery. If you're as curious as we are about how this plays out, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave your thoughts in the comments. What do you think is really going on here? Let's discuss. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time with more updates on this ongoing story. As we dive deeper into the mysterious disappearance of Tiffany Henyard's boyfriend's 100K BMW, more questions continue to pile up. And believe me, this story is far from over. Now, let's look at the bigger picture, because while this car incident is grabbing all the headlines, there's a much deeper issue at play here. Many people are wondering, how did Henyard, a public figure and the mayor of Dolton, get tangled up in such a bizarre and high-profile situation? The reality is, Tiffany Henyard has always lived her life under a microscope, and her every move has been scrutinized by the media, her constituents, and her critics. When you live your life in the public eye, every mistake, every decision, and yes, even a missing BMW gets magnified. Now, let's break it down. Tiffany has been in office long enough to know how important public perception is. But here she is, letting an entire week go by without addressing the car's disappearance or making any sort of statement. It's not just the lack of action that's causing concern, it's the lack of transparency. Whether you like her or not, as an elected official, she has an obligation to the public to provide answers when something this strange happens. And yet, nothing. What's even more perplexing is the fact that there have been no major updates from law enforcement either. The police are typically all over cases involving stolen luxury cars, especially when the car is worth six figures. So why is this one different? Is there a reason why the investigation seems to have stalled? Or is there something that people aren't being told? These are the questions that no one can stop asking. The silence has left the public wondering whether there's something more sinister going on, something that's being kept under wraps. Could this whole car incident be part of a larger cover-up, possibly linked to her controversial handling of the city's finances? We can't ignore the fact that Tiffany Henyard has been facing intense scrutiny for months over her financial dealings, including accusations of mismanagement and questionable spending practices. And now, here we are, a missing luxury vehicle, zero answers, and a growing cloud of suspicion. Is it possible that this is all connected? Could the missing BMW be a diversion meant to draw attention away from something more serious? Now, this wouldn't be the first time a politician tried to divert public attention from a scandal. We've seen it time and time again. When a major issue arises, the next thing you know, a brand new scandal pops up, taking the spotlight away from the original controversy. Could this be one of those classic moves? The only difference is, this car isn't just a random piece of property. It's a symbol of wealth and excess that's directly tied to Henyard's lifestyle, which has already raised some eyebrows. Some local activists have begun to openly question whether the missing BMW is just the tip of the iceberg. If Henyard is hiding something, this could be her last-ditch attempt to redirect the conversation, taking the media focus away from her, leadership flaws, and onto something sensational. But here's where it gets interesting. While Tiffany remains silent, her critics are certainly not holding back. Over the past few days, local political figures have started calling for a full investigation into Henyard's finances. They're not just concerned about the missing car anymore. They're now asking whether the public funds were used to maintain or insure the vehicle. Was the mayor misusing city resources? Was this car part of a larger web of financial mismanagement? That's been going on for years. The people of Dolton are demanding answers, not just about the BMW, but about how their hard-earned money is being spent. The longer Henyard avoids the issue, the more her credibility continues to erode. Right now, it's about more than a missing car. It's about trust and whether the public can still believe in her leadership. So, what happens if Tiffany Henyard can't clear the air? What happens if this mystery deepens further and even more disturbing facts start to emerge? It's already clear that this scandal has affected her standing among Dolton's residents. Some who were once loyal to her are now starting to second-guess their support. If this BMW saga continues to unravel, it could put her political future in serious jeopardy. But here's the catch. Henyard's silence could also be a strategic move. In some circles, it's believed that the longer you remain quiet during a crisis, the more people speculate, and the more attention you attract. It's a risky move. If she's not careful, the silence might cost her everything. But there's also a possibility that she's biding her time. Perhaps she's waiting for the right moment to address the public, making a grand comeback with an explanation that could either clear her name or condemn her further. After all, she's no stranger to high-stakes drama. But right now, every day without a statement only makes things worse. We're left with one major question. How far is Tiffany Henyard willing to let this go? The mystery of the missing BMW is far from over, and the fallout from this scandal is likely to reverberate through Dolton for months to come. For the people of Dolton, the question isn't just about the car, it's about the character of their mayor and whether she can bounce back from this. As more people demand answers, Tiffany Henyard's silence will only continue to fuel the speculation. It's up to her to decide how this story ends. But she better act fast, because every minute she waits brings more damage to her already fragile reputation. So, what's next for Tiffany Henyard and this missing BMW? Could it be the start of something much bigger, or just a bizarre incident that fades into the background? Only time will tell. For now, we'll be keeping a close eye on any new developments, and we'll be here to break it all down for you. Make sure you don't miss our next video, where we'll continue to unravel this unfolding drama.